Welcome to The Last 50 Feet, the podcast about what happens when autonomous vehicles actually arrive at the curb. Every week, we get into what is moving in autonomous commerce, what's stalling, and who's building what next. No fluff, all signal, and we keep it brief. That's our thing. Let's get into it.
Like the intro said, let's get into it. The last 50 feet. We are back with a somewhat different cast of characters today. We are sans Ben, which is this the first episode we've done without Ben?
I think so. Yeah. It's just me.
I'm the captain now, sort of thing. Yeah.
I'll be your co-pilot. Happy to do so.
All right. Everybody, welcome to The Last 50 Feet. Producer Kyle is joining us, obviously, from a room that has yet to be decorated in the background. I guess it's getting refreshed for a...
Don't talk about my insane asylum, okay? I didn't mean for this to be my backdrop, but we decided to paint my daughter's room, who is coming. Angel's also in his daughter's room. Mine's just not established. She's not here yet. She'll be here in 4 weeks, but we have no room, okay? So I was trying.
Room. I love the way you say room.
Room.
And today we are joined... Yeah, and I have a massive lag on my end, so sorry if there's going to be a little bit of that, but I'm sure it'll catch up. Today we are joined by Angell Tsang, co-founder, CTO of Tso Chinese. And the specific relevance of having Angell on the pod today is that Tso Chinese Takeout and Delivery is Autolane's first pilot customer running autonomous deliveries in Austin, Texas. Angell, welcome to the pod.
Kyle, glad to be here. I'm super glad to have met Autolane, and it's incredible how fast our relationship has just gotten going and actually going live to production. Incredible team to work with, and super happy to chat about what's going on.
We feel the same way. I joked before the pod, like, how many possible touch points could we possibly have in a single 24-hour period? And I'm assuming we're cresting into the 3 figures at this point, but obviously it's all good. They're all good touch points. Angell, I want to understand a bit more about Tso before we dive into some specifics about what we're doing together. But I also want to understand a little bit about you, because you did not start your career in restaurants. You started somewhere else. So give us a quick primer. Take us back to what Angell was doing 10, 15 years ago.
Sure. 10, 15, 20 years ago, I came to Austin to, I had no direction in my life, as one is when you're 22, 23, and eventually found myself working at startups. Startups here, startups there. That's what happens when you work at startups. Most of them don't work out. Some of them do. I started in testing, in QA. Eventually ran software teams, building a whole bunch of different things across the startup industry. E-commerce mostly, but also mobile apps, social, health, as well as credit cards. So cashback work. So did a lot of stuff. And so, my passion was eventually, getting into positions where I was driving product, driving, decisions, getting teams to execute and implement and build new stuff. And that was super exciting for me, is building new stuff. So in 2016, I was eating dinner at a friend's restaurant, Chinese restaurant, a full service one. His name's Min. He eventually would be my co-founder, but he caught me at one of those moments in my life where, when you work at startups, most of them fail. He caught me in the moment where one of them was basically on its way out.
Yeah.
Uh, and so I was kind of a little down. And he was like, I got a dumb idea. You know, and he was like, I really hate the full service restaurant industry, but we sell so much General Tso chicken, you know, and uh, I love doing deliveries and I love doing takeout. He's like, what if we created a restaurant that was only did delivery takeout, so I can only do what I love, right? And but we want to make it easy for the customers and order online. This is, I think the conversations really started in like 2015.
Wow.
Wow.
And so, um, you know, I did a little research. I was like, surely you can just buy something online, right? Like a Shopify. Everyone gets, you want to start an e-commerce business, you just get a Shopify site and start selling, right? Like it should be very, very simple. No, not true. There is no such thing as Shopify for restaurants. Shopify, you can't ship Chinese food in a UPS box 3 days. So
I mean, you could try.
Shopify was not designed for on-demand execution and let alone point of sale and kitchen display systems and that kind of stuff. So accidentally found ourselves just being like, shoot, we kind of need this, and we need that, and we need this to support a on-demand restaurant with delivery. And we ended up just getting a dev team and building it ourselves in 2016. We like just sat down and wrote code for a year, and then I found a tiny little spot in Austin called in a little neighborhood called Cherrywood, next to the Fiesta grocery store. It was a former pizza patron, I think, and we just converted the pizza patron, 1,500 square feet, into a Chinese takeout and delivery, kind of like a hole in the wall, really. And it kind of just like took off. And so we've basically opened a new location like every 2 years since then.
Wow.
Got some investments. I don't know if you know this, but we got some notable investors into the company. Walter Robb is one of the former co-CEOs of Whole Foods. He's one of our
Oh,
investors. Dave Neer,
amazing.
former COO of Wendy's corporate, uh, sits on our board, advises us every month. And then let's see who else. Brian Spaley, founder of Bonobos and Trunk Club, also
Oh,
investor. The list goes on and on. Mike Ripka, Torchy's Tacos, Leon Chen, Tiff Streets. All of them are
fantastic.
on our investor panel.
Wow. So you guys, this started for you kind of at a time where, like, I don't want to say delivery was exploding, but at least the the ubiquity of delivery had started to explode, where everyone was jumping on that train. Uh, how do you feel like, timing generated tailwinds for you in the creation of this concept?
Yeah, I don't think any of us saw COVID coming, right? And so uh, we, I think we had data. Min was running Asian and Chinese restaurants for like the last 10 years. He saw the volume that was going out of the door. He would do self delivery, like this is before even Google Maps. He would do deliveries with paper maps, and it was
Wow.
just pure memory. He was like, I know exactly where this street is. I know how to get there. Like, this is how you do it. Like, he would like literally draw the route and then hand off the route, like the piece of paper, to the driver to go and do deliveries. That was how delivery worked. Like, delivery was not invented in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Domino's has been doing that. Pizza Hut and Papa John's has been doing delivery since the 90s, 80s. And then Chinese restaurant mom and pops have been doing, you know, the son would send, would deliver the food to you for like decades, right? And so all we did was decide to modernize it and say, like, let's see if we can systematize delivery We at our peak we had 25 vehicles that we had purchased. We were running W-2 drivers, probably like 50 to 60 drivers that were on staff. Maybe a single dinner shift was somewhere between like 4 and 8 drivers, W-2 full time, at the stores, and that was pre-COVID. So once COVID hit, I mean, it was like demand far outstripped supply. We couldn't even, like, we were doing 2 hour delivery times because we just didn't have enough drivers. Me and Min, at the time I was working a day job, and I would like leave work at 5, just drive straight to the restaurant, put on my hat, and go do deliveries. And I had the super awkward, super kind of funny delivery where I would like deliver to my coworker who I had seen earlier that day in the office. Like, hey Joel, you need help? Like,
Are
no.
you doing okay?
Yeah, I don't. This is my second job, right? Like, so
That's
building software
incredible.
during the day, doing Chinese food delivery at night. Eventually, but yeah, that's how the early days were.
So this is your first foray into food service. You don't have a background. This is your first trip into the restaurant, so to speak.
Well, it's been almost 10 years now, so the first trip is the only trip, and it's a 9 year trip. So
Yeah,
the
easy.
stuff I know now, is so much more than when I first started. When I first started, I didn't even know what a point of sale was, right? Like, we
Yeah,
technically didn't even build a point of sale. We built Shopify for Chinese restaurants, right? And so customers would walk in and try and process an actual point of sale order, and we'd be like, we have like a web server. And so so we would just say, like, you know what, you probably have a phone, right? And they're like, yeah. And then we just tell them to get on the phone and place the order with their phone. Many angry customers in 2017, not happy with us on that one. But we still did, like, I think 1.5 million that first year in revenue, which, like, what, 100% online orders, mostly mobile, which 2017 kind of early, So
Yeah.
yeah.
and you still follow that same method today. You're still 100% delivery.
No, we since then we've embraced omni-channel sales, right? Which means, like, any if you as a customer want to use any style or form of sales, we will accept that. I think at some point we said, let's stop saying no and start saying yes to customers, and stop trying to convince them or migrate them, convert them. I think that's kind of like pulling teeth. And so we introduced a real point of sale in the store like 3 years ago. Um, and we launched on third-party marketplaces. That's a whole nother podcast. I don't want to talk about that, but third-party marketplaces are popular. And so, I think in just going back to it, we want to say yes to the customer uh, in all aspects.
I have a
Yeah,
question for you.
go for it.
How often do you giggle a little bit? Because we often giggle now every time we catch ourselves saying the word so, because it's your brand name. And if you say it, like we say it all the time now, and we're
Yeah.
like, are we talking about, a restaurant? Are we?
Yeah. 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 No. Yeah. We actually, when we were trying to decide what we wanted to call the company, we needed something that was gonna be kind of like a Xerox and a Kleenex and a Coke of the brand, right? Something that was just super short, catchy, instant. And so we all knew that General Tso was one of the most, if not the most popular dishes in Chinese American cuisine, and no one had, you can't actually technically trademark that. So we were able to get the trademark for Tso Chinese takeout and delivery, and it gave us the opportunities for excellent marketing puns. You know, so we lean in. Yeah, on the corporate side. I've been building some AI agents that help us with various tasks, building automations and stuff. And yeah, we've taken to naming them with a TSO in the beginning of everybody's name. So we've got one AI agent called Sophie, another one called Sora, another our CFO, his name is Solomon,
Wow.
TSOLOMON. So
You
yeah.
guys are
That's so
hard
good.
in it. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, we are deep deep
It's
into
not
the
just
puns.
external, it's deep in the woods and the internal.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of come onto our team too. Like I've started just using TSO whenever I
Mhm.
say so. It's just in there. I love it.
Don't forget, in Austin, one of our best known phrases is at Joe's Coffee. It's spray painted on the wall. It says "I love you so much."
Oh,
that was
that's so good.
that's like one of our first themes. Yeah, yeah,
So good.
yeah.
I know. You can't like once you start, it's a very slippery slope. But it is, yeah, fully pervasive now
E-
amongst the team here.
Everyone goes through the phase when they're catching themselves
Phrase
accidentally
phase.
punning. So yeah,
Phrase face.
phase.
Clip that.
Okay, so you started at So, you're 10 years in. So, did I just do it?
You did
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Unreal. Unreal. So Angel, I just did it again. You're 10 years in. What does your day-to-day as co-founder and CTO look like now?
Yeah, I mean, like, uh, people don't realize this, but everything when it comes to technology, like almost all of it's like custom work, and so my day to day is primarily working on that. I've since kind of just since I'm a founder, I can title myself any way I want, but my title is actually just changed to Chief AI Officer because that's primarily what we're working on now, and um, and I'm super passionate about it because we are finally automating and getting stuff done in the back office that was like, we can't afford to hire someone to do that, so let's just not do it. I mean, there's just so much stuff that we just don't do that we should do, uh, like really good deep financial analysis, to there's an insane amount of redundant work that you have to do as a restaurant that's crazy. Like, for example, some catering vendors will send us an email and we can only accept that catering job if you open the email and click the button, which would drive us insane because it means that we're open, we'll accept catering orders like 7 days a week, 24/7. So then someone's just got to like monitor that email box and inbox and just like click the button on the weekend at night, which drove us insane. So we built an automation to just auto click the button, right? So there's like 10 million stories of things that we don't actually like doing at the restaurant. And I'm on a journey and a mission to remove the things we don't like so we can focus in on the things that we do love, which is serving customers, making sure that our food is amazing and consistent, working on new partnerships with autonomous vehicles, making sure that customer experience is consistent and delightful. Those are the things that we're super passionate about. And so I am on a journey to basically try and eliminate all forms of spreadsheeting in this company, right? I tell everyone on on the corporate side, if you are touching a computer right now, uh, and because you have to go click a button, then I would like to remove that task from you because that means you are not thinking about the customer or thinking about the food. So that let's automate that and let's focus all of our time and money towards customers and food. So
Customers over clicks. Um. So. 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 When we bumped into each other in March at ShopTalk, had autonomous delivery been on your mind, or was it a brand new concept and ultimately just a surprise that we had bumped into each other and we were exhibiting at ShopTalk?
yeah, so yes to everything. I am a technologist. This is something that I love to just learn about and think about all the time. I've been thinking about autonomous delivery since the inception of autonomous vehicles. Um, so like this concept or idea that Tesla painted way early back in the day of full self-driving, then Waymo coming live in Austin, and then eventually the robotaxi network going live in Austin was kind of just me being like, finally. That was my response, was finally. Like, we're finally getting here. Um, I think one of the very most difficult parts of running our delivery portion of the business has been consistency with drivers. We had some major labor issues in 2023 where the unit economics of delivery really stopped being profitable. It just didn't make any sense to continue with the model that we had. We didn't make any money doing our own self deliveries with our own cars. There were several lawsuit insurance issues. That's what happens to businesses when you run vehicles, and insurance prices skyrocketed to the point where unit economics did not make any sense whatsoever. We then had to shift to alternative forms of delivery, currently white labeling out delivery service providers such as Uber Direct, and those come with its own significant flaws. One of which is uh, those people don't really work for us directly, so they can't really buy into our vision. Um, I can confidently say that we have literally never, ever, ever had anyone eat a driver has never eaten our food or stolen the food when we were running W2 because those were our employees. We controlled that. Um, that is not the case today because we don't control the W2 driver, the 1099 contractors through these white label DSPs. We Unfortunately, that statistic is not 0%. It is higher than you would think, which is crazy. Any percentage above zero is absolutely unacceptable. And it's been like that for the last 3 years. We are trying to figure out ways to get drivers back in house, and still make it work from like actually making any type of profit at all. Um, I think me meeting Autolane at ShopCon was pure serendipity. Like, I had no expectation to even see you there. And then I walked by the Tesla and I was like, what's this? And honestly, I was a little skeptical. I was like, this is like 5 years away, not 5 months away. And so I just assumed, cool, good luck to y'all, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not expect you. I did not expect Autolane to actually take action. This never happens. Every vendor I ever speak to on that is like a future roadmap type company, I never hear back ever. And so for me to hear back from you guys instantly, and then like start up a Slack channel, and we've been in constant communication for like ever since ShopCon, and to actually go live, I couldn't believe it. So it's been an incredible partnership. It's never been a blocker on our end. I was like, I'm always game for progress. Always game. Yeah, tell me day and time, I will be there, and we will make the change. We will write the code. We will do the changes to progress. And you guys have met us there, and so um, yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I remember the skepticism. I think maybe the first time we connected post show, you had just said something like, "Oh, really? Like, are you sure this is going to happen in a few months? Like, I think you're a little bit farther out than that." And I was like, no, we're super serious about it. And you were like, okay, well, and you kind of laid out what we needed to get done, and we immediately went to work on it. So yeah, it's been super exciting. It's been super fun. I think it was also impressive how fast you moved. I mean, you really do walk the walk when it comes to what you're talking about here. Like, your team is super responsive, and you're, like you said, you're game to actually, put code into play as fast as y'all possibly can. It's impressive. Yep. So, any surprises, good or bad, since we kicked things off maybe a little over a month ago?
I think there are things that we didn't plan for, but in retrospect, makes a ton of sense, right? So, I think the general public may or may not be ready for this. It is certainly different, and since probably the beginning of whoever ever delivered the very first meal in the history of mankind, all the way up until pretty much now, generally been the same, right? Either the person does the true physical handoff, bag handoff, or they leave it at the doorstep, and that's typically how it's always worked. And so, we've done the integration with Nash, which is an orchestration platform to orchestrate different delivery service providers, and that entire orchestration platform is designed around assumptions that that's what's going to happen, right? That's not actually how the workflow works with Autolane, because it does require customers to walk out the door and go get it, which is a novel experience in some ways, intriguing for many people, but in some people may consider that to be either negative or more work than expected. And so I think in retrospect, we kind of all knew this. Like, this is just how economics works, human economics and human behavior. And so, it seems like we do need to put some incentives in place in order to help people understand the difference between the two, and the kind of like the trade-offs of choosing a standard traditional delivery versus autonomous delivery. And I think some of the things that we could probably work on better together along with Nash is broadcasting and communicating some of the benefits that aren't outside of just straight up saving money, right? These deliveries are less costly. It's consistency, and going back to my story of the Tesla will never steal your food. The food, the pot stickers, you order 6 pot stickers, one won't be missing. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
those are the there's always a there's always an insulated box or bag, and we're testing out like putting heat packs in there to keep it even more super hot.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so like those are the non-monetary incentives I think that uh, are better than the old traditional one. uh, and so um, if we I think if we keep doing what we're doing, I think people will start to understand the value add there.
Yeah, would totally agree. All right. Well, so as we wrap up here, a couple questions, couple more questions. Kyle, did you want to jump in?
I've got one. Okay. Yeah, because of your title, I am so interested. That so was on purpose.
So
Um,
interested.
what your favorite movie or show that depicts AI and tech? And like it can be a throwback or it could be something more present, but that question made me think of you.
Um, I would say The Matrix. I'm a child of the '90s, right?
Yes.
So that's me. Like The Matrix. Uh, I loved The Matrix, and the whole idea of it. Uh, not not the fact that humans would be slaves, but um, but I think if you're gonna ask me about like how I feel about our future, um, I think there are warranted concerns and fears, but uh, right right now, uh, the way I see it is that we're paving a future where a lot of the mundane things that we're working on, we can eliminate, and we all, as business owners at least, get to focus in on our core vision, our core fundamentals of why we started the business in the first place. uh, and so like really, like for me, the first things I want to tackle and remove is spreadsheets. It's like the bane of my existence. I never want to see one again. And and we'll go from there. And like that way, like all of us can totally focus on only things that delight us, and then the AI will handle the things that don't. So I am not a AI doomer, as even though I do love the Matrix.
It's so funny to hear people say things about hating spreadsheets because I'm one of those weirdos that loves myself a spreadsheet. Like just made one before this call. So
You can
it's
keep your
it,
that was
it's
spreadsheets,
just
Kyle.
not in our it's just not in our restaurant core values to be like great food, incredible customer service, super awesome spreadsheets. You know what I mean? Like it's just not there.
anyone's core value but me, potentially.
Yeah.
Angel, what should people watch out for from So over the next few years? Any expansion plans, format changes you can share?
Yeah, I think our vision has always been to eventually expand out to be the premier Chinese American takeout and delivery brand. Uh, there is one brand that does a form of this through drive-through, and they do an incredible job. But we are very, very different in that everything that we make is to order, so it's still a scratch kitchen. I think that's a significant difference. Um, but also, our focus is on takeout and delivery and extreme convenience without the sacrifice of food quality. You'll know how old your food is when you order from us. And so I think there's a huge opportunity for that, and that's what we want to do. We want to begin to expand over the next 10 more years across the country. I think the appetite for this is there, and and then we'll continue to evolve as technology expands, as Autolane expands, and as culture progresses to the point where autonomous delivery becomes the norm, because of all the things that we've talked about, all the value propositions, then that makes our job not only easier, but it directly addresses some of our core values, which is customer experience, customer satisfaction, and food, like all of it, right? And so um, we're going to continue to stick to our core values, and yeah, I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that throughout the United States, uh, there is sort of a uh, um, the majority of the Chinese restaurant owners, on average, are aged 65 and older. And
Wow.
so it's because the majority of them, immigrated to America in the 70s, around when they were 20 and 30. And their businesses that they started, the easiest one to start was Chinese restaurants. There's a whole network. There was a whole network in the 70s and 80s to get that up and running. And so that wave is now retiring, which means that, and this is not a business that typically gets handed off to their children, because their children typically go through college, get become a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, like myself, and that means that over the next 10 years, you're going to see a significant drop in mom and pop Chinese restaurants across the country. So what that means is, yeah, supply is going to be dropping like crazy. And I think there's a huge opportunity for us to go and fill that space.
Are you thinking at all about any M&A or helping some of those owners in succession planning, or just filling the gap in general?
Yeah, I think the answer is yes. I think there's
Yeah.
opportunity for both. And if there's any restaurant owner, any Chinese restaurant owners that have questions or need advice or whatever, I'm always open to help out. So we do a ton of community work. We do a ton of restaurant community work. And so I think even like today is even better than yesterday, because of the ability for virtually anyone to leverage AI to take care of a lot of the really like annoying uh, work that restaurants have to do. And typically, if you talk to any old school mom and pop Chinese restaurant, everything was done on paper. The accounting, the bookkeeping is just a notepad, and so the opportunity to modernize in an easy way without any code, but also without actually any spending a ton of money on these really expensive vendors. That opportunity is now, and so there's never been a better time to kind of like shake up how you run your business, to reduce a lot of headaches, costs, and then like spend most of your time as owners only on the things that you love.
It's amazing. Angel, if anyone wants to reach out, where can they find more about you and Tso?
Yeah, check out our website. It's tsochinese.com, TSO Chinese.com. We've got 5 locations in Austin. We pretty much cover the whole area for delivery. If you're interested in Autolane delivery, check out Cherrywood or South Congress. Those 2 locations currently have the Autolane beta pilot going. And so there's high likelihood you'll be able to get an autonomous delivery that way. Otherwise, you can send me an email at angel@tsochinese.com. That's Angel with two L's, Angell. Or you can check out our Instagram at Tso Chinese. Tso Chinese.
Fantastic. Angell, thank you so much for working with us and spending some time with us today. We will be talking to you so soon.
Bye, Angel.
All right. Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Cal.
Thanks, y'all.